So loving is difficult as it is. There's so many rules and so many conditions, but have you ever thought about love behind bars and how to conquer that? Well, that's what we're talking about today on Disability Life TV.
I found out that he was in like special, they called it special education back then, like classes since he was in 3rd grade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he was in different classes since way back then.
So did he have an actual diagnosis?
He did.
What was that?
He was intellectually disabled.
But was it caused by something? Because a lot of people that were born with, like, let's say, cerebral palsy, or in my condition, I had a traumatic experience.
Right.
Was there an onset? Was he born with it?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know exactly if he was born with it. I don't know about any other condition that he may have had.
Got it.
I think the way they do it too is, the IQ test.
Yes.
So I think that he was right on that line, like maybe right below like the 70
Got it.
IQ or just right at 70.
Got it.
So I think that's kind of how they determined it.
Got it.
Yeah.
So was it determined when he was incarcerated?
Mm-mm.
So
it was
before?
it was
So from 3rd grade. So
exactly.
he was in special
So that's
needs
one of the
classes.
things that also goes with the things that we're trying to change in the courts.
Right.
Because they're saying that you have to be determined intellectually disabled before you're incarcerated, or actually before you turn 18.
Well, you know why that is, right? Because any type of disability prior to maturity is considered kind of something either you were born with and it's already in your system. And I'm so glad you made that differentiation, because a lot of people feel like, yeah, of course he went to jail and said he was crazy.
Right.
And I know that's part of what happens. But you're right, because with an intellectual and cognitive disability and some of the marked disabilities, like the ones that I mentioned,
Right.
there is a sense of being manipulated easily into doing things you may
Right.
not otherwise do.
Exactly.
And so that would have had to come up during his trial.
Exactly.
And it didn't.
It did not.
Okay.
So that's a very good point that you make there, because with this, I also want to be sensitive, to the victim.
Of course.
And to anyone who may be a victim of something like that. And it's not to excuse his crime or anything like that. And we're not saying that, he shouldn't have gone to prison for what he did. It's just the moral standing of, should you execute someone
I'm glad you got to that point.
disabled. Exactly.
So I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I know the anniversary of that loss is coming up. But what our viewers may not know is, although he was scheduled for execution, that's not how you lost your dad. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So he had a stroke, and that's how he passed. So for me, I actually see it as a blessing in disguise, because I feel like I lost him like in a normal way. Like anyone who has a dad could lose their dad to a stroke. And I feel like for me, like that gives me some sense of normalcy, because I grew up and my relationship with my dad was so weird. Like I couldn't relate to lots of people.